House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 2 aired in the UK last night, and golly was it a good one. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here, it's lovely to have you. House of the Dragon is back with Season 2, and it has come back with a bang. There's been 2 episodes so far. I've already reviewed Episode 1, so if you want to see that, I will leave a link in the description box or somewhere on the screen. And today we're going to review Episode 2. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started, there will be spoilers in this video. Please do not hold me accountable if I ruin something for you. I will be spoiling a lot of stuff. I would also love to hear your opinions on the episode as well, so please leave those in the comments and we can have a good old discussion about it. So to kickstart off my review, I am really pleased with the fact that each episode now is a consequence of the actions in the previous episode. In Season 1, there was a lot of time jumps that would span years in advance. There were no direct consequences in that episode of what happened in the previous one. However, so far in Season 2, because there are no huge time jumps anymore, the start of the episode is leading off from what happened in the previous one. Now, Episode 2 is set a day after the events that finished Episode 1, which was, of course, little baby Jaehaerys being beheaded. Aegon's son, the heir to the throne, has been murdered. Stuff is going down. And that's gotta have some consequences, right? And that is what this episode is. It is the consequences of that action. I do think that Aegon's anger was justified. If anything, I felt a bit upset that he destroyed all of those models and the architecture that his father had made. You've got to take your anger out on something. And I would rather he was smashing up an architectural model rather than a person. So you can quite clearly see that he is fueled with rage, which I think anybody would be. But also further along the episode, you realise he's not just fueled with anger, he's also fueled with a lot of grief and pure sadness. There's a particular scene which played on my heartstrings where Aegon is showing vulnerability. He is breaking down in tears. And Alicent, his mother, by the way, just watches. She just does nothing. I was literally screaming at the TV, give him a freaking hug. She has to be given the award for World's Worst Mother. I have never been more mad at her than in that scene. So now we're looking at what does Aegon do? His son has just been killed. What is his next step? Now, one thing that came to mind in the scene with all the council members was that Otto was giving me Tywin Lannister vibes. Did anybody else pick up on that, or is that just me? I don't know, I think it was just the ideas of parading the little boy's body through the street for all to see and blaming Rhaenyra even when there's no direct evidence that it was her. Obviously it's a great plan, like I thought it was a great plan and I could see where he was coming from with it. But yeah, just giving me a few little vibes there. And actually I do really like him as a character as well. I liked him in Season 1 and that has not changed so far in Season 2. And I felt a lot of despair for him when he was removed his status of being the King's Hand. Again, I think that decision by Aegon was made through grief and hatred. And we all know that Aegon is not a very logical king. He's not a very experienced one. So he does make very rash decisions. Poor Otto. Also, what was the purpose of the cart getting stuck in the mud in the parade? Did anybody else think that something awful was going to happen, like the head was going to roll off the body, or the crowd were going to go crazy, or there was going to be a riot? I feel like there was a purpose or there was something that happened at that parade that was then not actually put in the episode, because otherwise I'm thinking, what was the point in that scene? What was the purpose? It created unnecessary tension that didn't lead to anything and it was just very, very pointless. So I feel like there is a deleted scene. Let me know what your thoughts are on that because I think that's an interesting one. Also, if you didn't know what side was going to win, there is a massive clue in the banner colours. In A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones, we know what colours the Targaryen banners are because obviously this is a prequel. This was set before A Song of Ice and Fire. I personally would not want the job of stitching the toddler's head back onto his body. I know that there were a lot of awful jobs in that day, but I think I could probably just be a rat catcher. I would not want to have that particular job. Although, after watching this episode, think it's safer to not be a rat catcher because every single one of them got murdered. Again, a decision that was made by Aegon. It was a very horrible decision that he made. It wasn't a very logical one. However, all he wanted was to see justice for his son and to kill the person who killed his son. And unbeknownst to him, that is what he did. However, he also killed about a dozen innocent ones as well. The best part of the entire episode for me was seeing the dog. The dog is alive and well. The person who kicked the dog has been murdered. There is a particular scene where Damon is riding his dragon out of a cavern, and that scene gave me chills. That is cinematic genius, and it's everything I aspire to be. Like, how cool would it be just rocking up to work like that every day? And the scenery as well. It was just a very, very beautiful scene. I really appreciated that. I have just realised that I look naked in this video. I promise you I am not. So I'm gonna strategically tuck the hair behind the shoulder so that this video does not get banned. I am still in awe of Jace's glow up between season 1 and season 2. The hair? You know when they say that like your hair can really make a difference and it can make you go from unattractive to really attractive? That is exactly what has happened to Jace. I need to find me the hairstyle that gives me that glow up because it has done wonders for him. There is a particular scene where Aegon and Cole tell Otto their plan to send the twin... Which twin is it that they have? Is it Eric or Arik? I should have googled this before filming the video. They want to send one of the twins to slay Rhaenyra by pretending to be his other twin because they are identical. The look on Otto's face when he realises that he is surrounded by idiots, that is a meme that I want to keep and cherish forever. It just encapsulates so much emotion in one facial expression. And I think he's just in a state of shock or disbelief at this point. The look on his face is priceless. So the whole episode is building up to the tension at the end, which is the plot for the twin to slay Rhaenyra by pretending to be his other twin. I really liked that you saw the woman notice the twin entering the grounds, but you didn't see what else she did. So at that point, we see the bad twin go all the way into Rhaenyra's chambers. And at this point, I'm thinking, a lot of time has passed since the woman recognised him, so there is a lot of tension building up as he is navigating his way through the grounds. Now, I think for me, this was a very, very sad scene between the twins because it's a lose-lose situation either way. Like, it would not have mattered who killed the other one. Nobody wins. It is a very hard-hitting scene where two brothers are forced to kill each other due to other circumstances, but they still love each other. And obviously we are very, very certain that the good twin was the one who won the fight and who murdered the other one, but he still lost out because he could not live with that knowledge that he had murdered his twin brother, and therefore he decides to end his own life. So it is a very, very sad scene. Neither one of them has won. It wouldn't have mattered who won either way. Even if the bad twin came out on top, he still wouldn't have been able to live with the grief of what he had done. Yeah, that was hard. That was an emotional one. And the dialogue was really emotional as well, how they've been brought into this life together. They are bonded through being not just brothers, but twins. But because they were on different sides, it has now resulted in this really awful situation. That was a difficult scene, but very well executed. I also liked in this episode that they hadn't mentioned Alicent's other son for ages. Like, it has been many episodes since he was last mentioned, and then all of a sudden they just name dropped him in. And so they kind of thought, oh yeah, we haven't actually mentioned him in a while, let's just include one line where we mention his name, and then it adds that continuity. I see what you did there. I also think as well there is now a very awkward situation that the king's hand is screwing the king's mother. That's a little bit messy. I'm very excited to see where the rest of this season goes. I am enjoying watching it week on week. I think sometimes it's so nice to not binge watch a whole series. I think it's because the tension and the emotion lasts longer. So now I have all this excitement waiting for the next episode and I've got to wait a whole week. Whereas if I was binge watching it, I would probably have to wait about 5 minutes, and therefore the excitement does not last as long. So that is my review of House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 2. What did you think? Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on the episode. I'd love to hear from you, so make sure to leave me a comment. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up to let me know that you did. I would really, really appreciate that. And if you like my content and you want to see more from me, then please subscribe because it's free and it lets you know every time I upload a video. Like I mentioned earlier, I've also done a review on episode 1, so I'll leave that in the description box. And I've done an entire series book review on A Song of Ice and Fire. And I'm also going to review the individual books too, so keep an eye out for that one because I'm going to be reviewing Game of Thrones. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you next time, or rather you'll see me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.